Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel, SemperFi Mobile Auto Repair. I'm back on this 2004 Chevy Tahoe. We're going to be replacing the water pump, a serpentine belt, and the belt tensioner and the pulley. So let's get to it. First, we're going to remove the air snorkel. This is a flathead screwdriver, at least on this one. We're just going to loosen it up. Then we're going to loosen up on this side as well. I believe. See. Then we're going to remove the air snorkel. We're going to push back on this. Just twist it. Slide it back. Now we're going to disconnect the upper radiator hose. So that's a flathead screwdriver as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to clamp down on the upper radiator hose, and we want to minimize the amount of leakage of the coolant. I believe the customer mentioned that they had added fresh coolant, so we're going to try to minimize that. Just going to clamp it down. Then we'll get a flathead screwdriver here. Loosen this up. Okay, it should be nice and loose. There we go. And we're just going to twist this hose off. I'm going to grab a small pick. I'll put this pick right underneath and then just loosen it up because it's been here for a while, so it's a little bit stuck in there. There we go. Just twist it off. All right. And let's just try to pull it out now. There we go. Just in there a little tight. We're just going to shift this, remove from this bracket, shift it back over here. Just going to lay it down. Now we're going to remove this fan shroud. It's a 10mm socket. Go ahead and remove it. And on this side. And on this side here. Add a little bit of pressure because it's spinning underneath. Actually, there's my mistake here. It's not a bolt, it's actually a push pin. Let's see if I can pop this out. There we go. Got to grab that. There's another push pin here. Yep. There we go. So it has two push pins like these. So this just comes up and then you just pull it out. I'm gonna go grab the ones on the other side. All right, so here's another push pin. Just pick it up. Then it should just slide out. We'll go grab that one as well. Then we should be able to remove half of the fan shroud out. Just gonna place it to the side. And this, before we remove the serpentine belt, we're gonna break loose the fan clutch, and it's got a 36mm wrench. And let me see if I can grab it. Give me a minute. All right, so this is the fan clutch nut right here. We're gonna loosen this up. It takes 36mm wrench, so we're gonna place it here. And this was counterclockwise, like I did right now. And then it loosens up. And then all we have to do is spin the fan off. There we go. Put this to the side. Put this down here. Now we come back. Now we're gonna remove the serpentine belt. Get this out, this hose out the way. And this is a 15mm socket. So let me go ahead and grab that. All right, so there's the belt tensioner. It's a 15mm. We're gonna go clockwise to loosen it up. And we're just gonna release the serpentine belt. Let go of the belt tensioner. Now we just remove this belt. Then I believe there's a 15mm as well. We're going to remove the belt tensioner. Yep, 15mm socket. It's going to break it loose. There should be 3 of them. Oh, and there's one more down here. That's this one. There we go. I'll use my cordless ratchet just to remove this. Get to the other one. It's on the bottom. We just remove this belt tensioner, and then we'll put this on the side as well. Now we're going to get to these hoses. What I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up these 2 heater hoses. There's a low radiator hose that's attached to the thermostat, and we're going to loosen these up and then clamp them down. All right, so these are 8mm worm type or worm style clamps, so we're just going to loosen these up. Looks like this one didn't loosen up. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to slide them back. All right, so now we're going to put the big clamp on the lower radiator hose. We're going to clamp it down. That's it, just to minimize the coolant leak. I'm going to do the same to these heater hoses here. Now we're going to use this pick, loosen up the hoses. Pull these out. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to do the same to this one. So this customer did mention that all it had was water in the cooling system, so you guys can tell it's all clear. It's just water. Here's the other heater hose. We're going to pull it up and just put it here. Here's a lower radiator hose. Okay, I'm just gonna pull on it. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put this up here. Good thing we got that clamp on it. Now we got 3 bolts here, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 on the opposite side. I believe these are 10 millimeter as well. Let me go take a look. All right, so we're going to remove the 6 10 millimeter bolts that hold this water pump in place. I'm going to loosen that. There's 3 more on this side. There we go. And we'll use the cordless ratchet just to loosen them up. Make sure, yeah, they're the same size, which is good. See? Yeah, they are the same size. Put these, actually put these over here. Just hold on to the pump. That way it doesn't fall out. There we go. Just move this wrench here. Pull it out. We'll just let it drain. So the customer did mention that all he had was water in it. Here's the old one. As you guys can see, the shaft. This is really bad end play here. It's really bad. Alright, so I'm going to clean up these bolts, clean up the mating surface area, which is here. We'll clean up both of these areas, and then we'll put in the new water pump. Alright, so I'm going to grab a straight edge blade here, and I'm just going to come in here, just remove the old gasket material. You want a clean surface area where you're going to be working on. We'll remove all the old gasket material, any residue that's in here. You want to remove it. Have a nice clean mating area. Now you want to be careful when you do this. You want to make sure you try to get the right angle with this blade, because you don't want to create any gouges in the mating material, because then the gasket's not going to do a good job at sealing. So, you know, just go very gingerly across everything. You should be fine. This wasn't that bad. It's nice and clean. Now let me go to the other side. Okay. So just be careful. Let's go back in here, try it one more time. Alright, looks like it's all the material. Let me just do a quick wipe down. As long as you have a clean mating surface, good set of gaskets, you shouldn't need any sealant on this. Let me take a look, give it one more. Alright, so I'm going to do a final wipe down here. This looks nice and clean. There's no old gasket material, no oil. So you want to have it nice and clean. All right, let's grab the pump and install it. All right, so this is a new water pump, and this is the part number. This one's pretty much a complete kit. It comes with the says US 64-T part number, but it comes already with the thermostat housing and the thermostat itself. So I always recommend replacing the thermostat when you do the water pump, especially if it's integrated. You want to replace them both, because you never know. Thermostat might be out on its way, or here's the gaskets. Or if you recently replaced the thermostat and then the water pump went out on you, then obviously you can forego replacing the thermostat. We're going to go ahead and first is ensure this thermostat or water pump is identical, which it is, to the other one. So we're going to go ahead and put the gaskets on it. What I'm going to use, the what's it called, the screws to hold the gasket in place. All right, so we're just gonna bring this water pump in nice and gingerly. We're gonna hold it that way these bolts and gasket doesn't fall apart. We're gonna gradually just mount this. So you just want two or three threads to grab. Okay. Let's get on this side over here. I say you just want 2 or 3 threads. That's doing it manually. All right, so now that we got these bolts, we hand threaded them. We're going to do use a cordless wrench, and we're just going to bring them in nice and gentle. Now we're not going to tighten them down. We're just going to bring them into where they're snug. All right. Now we're going to torque these to 22 foot-pounds. And we're going to do it in 2 runs. The first one is going to be 11 foot-pounds, and the second one will be the final torque, which will be 22 foot-pounds, and that's per manufacturer installation procedures. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, so we're going to do this in 2 passes. Do 11 foot-pounds first. There we go. Let's go to the next one. On the other side. All right, now we're going to increase it to 22 foot-pounds. All right, here we go. Final pass. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Now this is aluminum, so you have to make sure you torque it down. Torque it down where it needs to be, because you don't want to over tighten it, especially if it's aluminum or an aluminum housing. We'll go to the next one real quick. Okay, now go to the bottom. Then the last one, which is the outer one. Now one final pass. Okay. All right. All right, so that's the final one, 22 foot-pounds. So make sure you torque it accordingly. I know this is, I'm gonna verify the torque on the thermostat housing. I believe it is 11 foot-pounds, but let me take a look at what the specs are. All right, so I did verify the manufacturer specs for the thermostat housing bolts. It's 11 foot-pounds. Since this one came installed with a water pump, I'm just gonna double check that's the right torque. Yep. All right, perfect. So they are at 11 foot-pounds. Now we're going to move forward and start connecting all the hoses. All right, so this is a kit we got. This is for the belt tensioner kit, part number BK4214 or Bravo Kilo 4214, and this comes with the belt tensioner, idler pulley, and the serpentine belt. So let's go ahead and remove that. We'll first remove the idler pulley. Okay. Grab the bolt. Oh, I think the other one might come with it, but let me take a look. Yes, it does. Let's just match it, make sure it's the right circumference. Okay, there it is. So we're gonna manually screw this in. We're just gonna snug it down. And we're gonna torque this to 37 foot-pounds. All right, so this is the belt tensioner. It came with the kit. We're gonna go ahead and install it. And I say you want to start these bolts manually. Do it a couple of turns. That way you don't cross thread it, especially because it's got an aluminum housing. So let's go and drive them in with my cordless ratchet. We're just going to snug them down. There we go. Now we're going to torque these bad boys to 37 foot-pounds. Okay. So we got it set to 37, and we'll torque them down. Okay. Here's the bottom one. Okay, do one more pass. The idler pulley, same thing. We'll torque it down to 37 foot-pounds. One more pass. All right, it's perfect. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and install the 2 heater hoses and the lower radiator hose. All right, so now we are going to connect or reconnect the coolant hoses. Go ahead and loosen up this clamp. Just pushes all the way through. All right. I'm gonna put this worm type clamp back on it. Then we're gonna grab the other heater hose, bring it down. Go all the way. Go ahead and loosen up this clamp. Now we're going to tighten up these worm style clamps. I'm going to gradually tighten these down with the cordless ratchet. Alright, so I'm just going to snug these worm style clamps. And I said we're just gonna snug them down a little bit. Alright, and then we'll come back and then do them manually. You don't want to over tighten these. There we go. And we'll go ahead and tighten these manually. So you just want to snug them down to where it compresses the heater hose. Doesn't require a lot. There we go. I'll guide this back over here and we'll go ahead and install the lower radiator hose. There we go. Take this clamp back down. Actually, yeah, since it loosens up, oh, it's really loose, it's just gonna spin. So I'm gonna use the cordless ratchet just to snug it down. All right. Yeah, I said we're just gonna snug them down. That should be good. Yep, just slightly more. That's perfect. All right, now we're gonna install the upper radiator hose. Actually, we're going to install the fan clutch. That's what we'll do. Alright, so I'm going to remove this clamp from the lower radiator hose. It's already tightened it up. Instead of doing the fan clutch next, I'm going to go ahead and route the serpentine belt. So we're going to route this bad boy. So this, let's see here. It's going to go over the tensioner. We'll go over the harmonic balancer. Go around the water pump down into the power steering pump. This should come up to the the alternator. And this goes underneath this pulley. So we're gonna go ahead and let's say go clockwise on this. Actually, I'm gonna put it on the tensioner first. That way we move it. Guide this back to the harmonic balancer. Place this over the water pump, power steering, and the alternator. And we're going to bring this down. And we are going to loosen this. Bring the belt tensioner as far down as we can. And we're just going to push this belt in. Okay. So just slide in here. Let me just put a little more on my ratchet here so I can bring all the way down. Okay. Do a little slide this in here. Oh, it's not all the way in here. There we go. Just slide it over the pulley. There it is. So the alternator, power steering pump, water pump, over the harmonic balancer and the tensioner. Now we just release it. And that should be fine. There we go. All right, so that looks good. Now we're gonna mount the fan clutch. All right, so this is the fan clutch. I'm gonna go ahead and install it. And this, it goes in a clockwise, meaning righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So we're gonna go ahead and just spin the fan. Oh, actually, let's see if I can get the threads manually. That little tension here. Let me get this wrench real quick. Let me get on this side. So I can get a better angle from here. There we go. So right now we already tightened it up. So what we're going to do is, since it's got the belt tensioner on it, I'm just going to give it a good whack to get a final tightness on this fan clutch nut. I'm just going to grab a hammer and just give it a good whack. Alright, so I got my 36mm wrench on this, on the fan clutch nut, and I'm just going to give it a good whack. There we go, one more, and that'll do it. And that'll be nice and tight, and it's not going to go anywhere. So now let's move on and put the upper radiator hose, and then we'll put the fan shroud on. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and install the fan shroud. Bring this in here. Just drop it in there. Boom. Make sure we line up these holes. I said this one, the holes are just the push pin ones. Drop it in there. The other one's in the back. Just drop it in there. There's the other one. Place it up here. It holds it in place. Now we'll go ahead and get the two mounting bolts that go on top. We'll go ahead and line these up. Go over here. Same thing. There's a 10mm socket. Go ahead and tighten it up. Okay. We'll snug it down. Just give it a quarter of a turn. Quarter of a turn. Nice and tight in there. And we're going to go ahead and grab the upper radiator hose, bring it up, route it through this clamp. And we're going to mount this bad boy. Remove these clamps. Just going to come on this side, make sure it's all the way down. Yep. Okay. Then we'll get the 8mm and then snug this down. Alright, so now we're going to snug down this worm style clamp. and just snug it down, and then we're going to manually tighten it up. So make sure nice and tight. It's got a good indentation or impression on the hose itself, which is good. Just a quarter turn more. That'll be it. Alright, so we got both lower heater hoses installed, lower radiator hose, upper radiator hose, serpentine belt, fan clutch, fan shroud. So that pretty much concludes the installation of the water pump on this 2004 Chevy Tahoe. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Like, comment, subscribe. If this video helped you out, definitely give it a like. That way it can go out to more people out in the cyberspace world, and hopefully it'll help somebody else as well. Till the next one, you guys have a good day. Bye. One last thing I forgot to mention on the cooling system itself. I'm going to do a vacuum fill to this vehicle. I'm not going to record this part because I do have a couple of videos on how to do a vacuum fill, but just make sure that when you fill the cooling system that you properly burp the system. If you don't have a vacuum or an airlift system for the cooling system, because you definitely don't want to have any air bubbles within the cooling system. All right, now you guys have a good one.